everyone, this is Lara Hammock from the Marble Jar channel, and in today's video I'm going to share all of the systems and apps that I use for reminders. This is a part of a series on my ADHD brain and all of the systems that I use to compensate for a lack of internal structure and organization. Okay, if you've seen any other videos in this series, you know that I use a bunch of systems to help me remember events, tasks, and correspondence. I rely heavily on 3 tools: Gmail for single stream email and electronic information, Google Calendar for scheduling, and Toodle-Doo for task management. I commit to checking these 3 apps daily and keeping up with all of the commitments for each one. But even so, some things were still falling through the cracks. So in some cases, I needed additional help to help plug in the holes. First, timers. Okay, so I am very distractible. If I put a load of laundry in, it could be days later when I realize that I haven't moved the wet clothes to the dryer. Yuck. Partially for this reason, I like to do all of my laundry on one day of the week. But really the only way for me to accomplish that with my inherent distractibility is to set timers. I used to use my oven timer for this, but now I use either my watch or my iPhone. And I always prefer to set timers using Siri because it's so easy. Set the timer for an hour.
Roger that. T-minus 1 hour and counting.
I also use this when monitoring homework breaks for my kids, or putting the sprinkler on in my garden, or reminding myself actually to just leave the house for things, or I'd be late to every single appointment. The next is Google Calendar. So what about this? Say I have a task that needs to be accomplished at a specific time, like setting out donations for pickup by 7 a.m. So this would normally belong on my task list in Toodle-Doo, but I am never going to remember to do that by 7 o'clock in the morning. So in these cases, I will create an appointment on Google Calendar for 6 a.m. to set out donations. And then I will use Google Calendar's notification system to remind me in a couple of ways. I can't do this from the iPhone or the iPad calendar app, so I have to go into Google Calendar on a browser and put in the appointment, and then scroll down to notifications. I set one notification for the time of event that will make a pop-up on my iPhone or on my browser. But more importantly, for me at least, I have Google Calendar send me an email at the time. Perhaps this is overkill, but in my case, you gotta do what you gotta do. The next thing is memo2me.com. So I monitor my email more than any other service since it's my single information stream. You can see my video on this. There are a couple of daily or weekly tasks that I like to have sent directly to my mailbox. For example, I fill out a form on a website every day. It really only takes me about 30 seconds. So I like to do that as I'm going through my emails. Memo2me.com is a free web-based service that will send me an email with the website URL embedded in the email, or a URL of my choosing. Next is bigdates.com. So I am not much of a birthday person. My family of origin didn't do big birthdays. In fact, for my 10th birthday, my parents got me a paperback dictionary. That's it. True story. Anyway, because we didn't make a fuss over birthdays growing up, I'm not particularly good at remembering other people's birthdays. Unfortunately for me, I married into a family that believes that birthdays are very important. You can imagine that the combination of my not making a fuss and my not remembering did not go over very well for the first several years of marriage. I just can't will myself to remember these dates, so I use bigdates.com as my reminder system for birthdays and other events. There is a small fee, but it works out to less than $1 per month for an annual subscription, which is completely worth it to me to stay out of hot water. Bigdates.com, as you can tell by the name, is specifically designed to help remember dates like birthdays and anniversaries. So you go to their website and enter all of your friends and family members' birthdays into the system. Then for each one, you indicate whether you want a day of reminder or to be reminded 3, 7, 14, and or 30 days before the event. Then I get an email like this on birthdays, Mother's and Father's Day, and anniversaries. I don't delete it from my inbox until I've texted or called or otherwise acknowledged the day. Even better for designated people, I have bigdates.com remind me a week or two in advance, and that usually gives me time to send a card, get a gift, or plan a celebratory lunch. All of a sudden, I've gone from person least likely to remember an important event to person least likely to forget. Just a note, of course, I could rig my other systems to help me out here. I could put in a recurring annual task into ToodleDo, for example, or I could make an appointment in Google Calendar with a reminder, but I vastly prefer the simplicity of bigdates.com, and I like having it all in one place. It was too complicated to go in and change the events that don't happen on the same day each year, like Mother's Day, and I like that they come directly to my inbox, so I am more likely to handle them on the day that they actually happen. Lastly, low tech. Technology is great, but sometimes I just need a sticky note to remind me to pack something in the fridge before I leave for the day or to give someone a call. I've also been known to write on my hand or to tape a note to my purse. I'd love to hear what systems you guys use. Thanks so much for watching, and I really appreciate any comments that you leave below.